If you're thinking about spending big money on an Apple TV right now, put your wallet away. You are about to buy a piece of hardware that Apple is quietly preparing to make completely obsolete. It is wild that we are sitting here in mid-2026, and Apple is still charging premium prices for a streaming box running on a chip from 2022. But a massive new wave of supply chain leaks reveals that the next Apple TV isn't just a minor spec bump. Apple is turning this little black box into the absolute brain of your living room. We are talking about a massive silicon upgrade, entirely new wireless architecture, built-in camera rumors, and a complete overhaul driven by artificial intelligence. But there's a catch with the timeline and price. Let's break it down. First, let's talk about the brain of this new machine, because it explains why Apple has delayed this release for so long. The current third-generation Apple TV 4K uses the A15 Bionic. It's fine for Netflix, but 4 years in Apple Silicon time is an eternity. Reports consistently point to Apple dropping the A17 Pro chip into this upcoming model, the exact same silicon that powered the iPhone 15 Pro. Because this device plugs directly into the wall, you don't have to worry about battery limits or tiny thermal chassis throttling. You get a 6-core CPU, a 6-core GPU, and hardware-accelerated ray tracing running at full tilt 24/7. With Apple pushing massive console games like Resident Evil 4 and Assassin's Creed Mirage into the ecosystem, a dedicated gaming push with a proper controller setup is finally happening. But there's another hidden detail about the A17 Pro that matters even more for a pure streaming box: the dedicated AV1 video decoder. AV1 is a massive deal because it delivers incredibly high-quality video using a fraction of the bandwidth. If your internet constantly struggles with 4K streaming during peak evening hours, this hardware decoder fixes that bottleneck instantly, future-proofing the hardware for the next decade. Hardware is only half the story. Mark Gurman has reported that Apple Intelligence and the completely redesigned conversational Siri are the actual reasons this new box has been delayed. The current Apple TV completely misses out on the new conversational Siri because older hardware lacks the neural engine capability and memory required to process complex requests locally. When you ask it to find a funny movie under 2 hours included in my current subscriptions, you want that answer instantly on device, not bouncing back and forth to a cloud server. Beyond the processor, supply chain trackers indicate a totally new proprietary Apple wireless chip is debuting here, dubbed the N1 chip. This replaces off-the-shelf Broadcom components with Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, and wildly improved Thread connectivity. If your house is packed with smart lights, HomePods, and laptops fighting for bandwidth, Wi-Fi 7 opens up an uncongested 6 GHz lane. That means zero buffering and practically zero latency for your wireless game controllers. Now, what about the physical design? Don't expect a massive visual redesign. Apple likes the discreet black box aesthetic because most people hide it behind their TV anyway. However, engineers have heavily tested a built-in camera for easier living room FaceTime calls without awkwardly balancing an iPhone under the screen. Though privacy concerns might mean it's saved for a higher-tier Pro version down the line. And for the remote, supply chain leaks suggest Apple is finally integrating an ultra-wideband UWB chip directly into the Siri remote chassis. Precision finding via the Find My app will finally put an end to losing your remote between the couch cushions. So, when is this powerhouse coming, and how much will it cost? Mark Gurman points to late 2026, potentially launching at the traditional September fall event alongside the new iPhones. As for pricing, while analysts like Ming-Chi Kuo previously floated an aggressive $99 entry point to compete with budget sticks, a more realistic scenario is a stripped-down base model launching around $149, with the fully loaded Ethernet high storage version sitting closer to $200. If they pull off a $99 starting price, it instantly becomes the best daily driver streaming box on the planet. But either way, hold on to your cash and wait for the fall event. What is the absolute maximum you would pay for this new Apple TV? Drop your price in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and